The Flogcast may occasionally contain explicit content that makes it not safe for work or for minors. It also doesn't provide an excuse to use the same words on Bay 13. Normal Big Footy rules still apply.
Alright, so this is the Flogcast for the first week of finals. The emotionally checked out Tiger Starburns is here, and I'm joined by the Andrew Mackey of podcasts from St Kilda Cookson.
I'm Clayton Oliver, I'm Andrew Mackey, I'm everyone.
Why would you be Clayton Oliver?
I don't know, that's what I miss.
Unprecedented. I think it was something
Egomaniacal.
Ranger.
I'm not a ranger. I'm prepared to cop a lot of shit, but that is a step too far, my goodness.
Sound like one.
I'm fucking not.
The head of all coaching appointments and recruitment at Collingwood, Morgan Ashley.
No, now that's a step too far. I'm not head of recruitment. I'm not responsible for the mix-up.
Yeah, what's all that about? Oh, we'll get into
Just
that,
a
I'm
mix-up.
sure.
Bit of a boo-boo. Someone wrote a 4 instead of a 2.
Oh, I hate those transposition errors.
And
Added
extra
a 0.
Yeah. The number one fan of Sam McClure from North Grille.
Good evening.
Joining us again, the Mayor of East Geelong, Teach.
Good evening.
And returning for his first episode in a month, the Flogcast's resident piano man, Dan.
Yes, I'm back. Hello,
Sing us a
everyone.
song, Dan.
It's okay.
You sound so happy to be here.
Oh, yeah,
Well, you're on with Teach for the first time in nearly a year, so you got
I
to be...
am. Well, I expressed my happiness before we started.
Such a boss.
I feel
Such a
so
what?
much warmth for having you on, Dan. You know, I just get the...
Yes, and likewise, there isn't a week when we don't mention you, teacher. It's out of pure love and admiration and respect.
I felt it. During my hiatus, I did feel it.
I honestly think that's the most positive thing he's ever said.
Certainly this year.
Seriously, so much.
Why? Because I've been harping on the whole season being average and shit.
Not just
that,
the season, just about
generally
everything,
negative
really.
about
Terrorism
everything.
and...
Everything? Well, that's a bit of an exaggeration. I'm not hating on everything.
You are.
yeah,
An
I
awful
can't remember the last
lot.
time you had goof or something.
Well, but that's my own problem. I don't come prepared. It doesn't mean I hate anything. Have you guys spoken about the whole gay marriage, yes or no thing?
Yes, we did. There was a big thing on that, but do weigh in.
Well, I mean, where does it? Well, I'm just more curious as to where everyone else sits on the whole.
Yes.
Yes.
Everyone has a right to be miserable, I think was the overriding sentiment. And if you want a ham sub, it shouldn't affect you if someone else eats a fish one.
Anyone hating on on anyone's choice to vote no?
Oh, people have got the right to vote no, but just don't get in other people's faces about it.
They do. Teachers spot on about this.
Well, we asked Teach about it last week. He said he would vote yes just to piss off Bosk. So...
What better reason is there, really?
Well, you can vote. I mean, we live in a democracy. Right? You have a choice to vote either way.
That's a pretty good thing for the yes campaign. Vote to piss off Bosk. Vote yes for Bosk.
Hypothetically speaking, if the bill is passed and people can get married and shit, could I hypothetically marry a mate of mine just for the laws?
If
Yes,
you
you
wanted
can.
to.
Like,
Don't
But
you make him a
that's
little bit
what will
scared?
happen.
Wouldn't he
That's
like
what
go,
will happen.
"Oh,
You'll have a spike of gay marriages amongst mates. It'll happen, I guarantee.
That's a bit fucking
Right,
scary.
so what if somebody is a male and somebody is a female and they're really good friends and they get married? What's the difference?
Isn't that sort of how it's meant
Yeah.
to work?
Yeah, but it's
No, I'm not talking about romantically involved. I'm talking about two mates, similar to what Dan's suggesting.
Yeah, but
I
it's
mean-
not funny though.
So Dan, what you're saying is that, say for example, there could be a bunch of people and there's a bunch of mates egging another mate on saying, you know what you should do? You should get married to another man. That'd be a good prank.
Now the old, if you love him so much, why don't you marry him? Sort of.
Yeah.
Well, I just might.
Someone on Big Footy needs to be creative and make a marriage bet with Bosk.
Good idea. We could have a Bay 13 ceremony.
Yes.
I'll be the celebrant.
Yeah, ordain yourself online or something.
Starburns can be the flower boy.
Goo or tears, though? Who have we got?
I've got to have a good Game of Thrones. This season was fucking amazing. Brilliant cinematography, and if you complain about it, you're just a dick. Go be miserable somewhere else. So go for good TV.
I'm going to have tears, and I'm going to go back to the well here. I'm going to have tears for the darkest day in Australian sport.
Oh, I know it's coming.
And I'm not talking about
What?
I'm not talking about Essendon
I know
this
what
time.
you're talking about.
I'm not talking about Essendon this time. I'm talking about last Wednesday, I think it was. when
Yep.
the last wicket fell 20 runs short of Bangladesh's total. And seriously, if that's how they're going to perform, fuck the percentage model. They need to be on a fucking performance-based model, because if you can't beat Bangladesh, you don't deserve to get paid.
The sad part is
Disgusting.
it was predictable. We just knew it was going to happen.
Well, you always just... We've been in that position before against Bangladesh over there in trouble, where we didn't take them seriously, and then Gillespie hit 200, and you go, problem solved, you know, we got out of it in the most ridiculous way possible. And you figured it was going to happen with Dave Warner making runs on a turning track. But no, that wasn't enough either.
No, the Gillespie was the second test where we swamped them. The first test when we had Gilchrist saving our ass. Better having that utter fuck knuckle Wade. I mean, goddamn, can we trade him in a packet? Can we just get Gilly back? He can't do any worse than Wade.
But even Warner, like everyone's going, his second innings 100 was very good and marked him very high for the game because of that. But had he done that in the first innings, it's likely that there wouldn't have been the pressure on the tail to get the runs in the second innings.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean.
You shouldn't have a middle order collapse like we did, though. That's pretty piss poor.
Oh, absolutely not. No.
If you're 2 for 130 or 140 or whatever it was that we were, you should be rolling through that.
You should be getting the runs quite easily. But
also, additional cricket tiers. Kieran Pollard is a fucking little dick.
Oh, what's he done?
There was in the West Indian League, some batsman was going for the fastest 2020 century in history. Pretty much there was one run needed from 70-odd balls, and then he just bowls a no ball, just deliberately to deny him a century, well-earned century. So that was a shit act.
Yeah, it's pretty piss poor, actually.
Oh, yeah, that is cuntish.
That's hodgepodge-esque.
It's like Clarko flooding the back line with Favola on 99 goals, except not funny.
Geez, not much else happened in the world of sport, did it, during the week? There wasn't even a Premier League week.
Wasn't there?
No, they had the weekend off. Was,
does anyone want to have tears for the fucking Socceroos?
Yeah, tears for the Socceroos. Fuck, we got nailed on 2 sneaky goals. Otherwise, they play pretty well. Most people have pointed out that Brad Smith is a fuckwit and can't play. and that was pretty accurate. He can't play, and he was shit. So that was probably the difference between the two.
We were down to 10 men, even though there were technically no red cards given out.
Yeah, he thought it was fucking NRL. He was running into blokes, and those Japanese, they weigh about 9 stone ring and wet. And he ran into a couple and we knocked them into the second row. Yeah, no, we were just outthought in that game. And, we got what we deserved, unfortunately. Now we've got to beat another bunch of skinny blokes from Thailand.
And hope that the Saudis lose or draw.
But even if the Saudis win, I think we just have to win by like a huge amount or something.
3 goals more than they win by.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Which is Thailand.
That won't be easy.
We need one of those old school 90s games, like when we played American Samoa and Tonga and we put 30 past them, and Archie Thompson holds the record, I think it is, for most goals in a game.
That's right. He scored 9 goals in the 33-0 rout of the great side that is American Samoa.
With Bozza taking a couple of penalties, I believe.
Yep, that's right.
Take that, Messi and Ronaldo.
Probably snorted a line before he did it. Oh, this will be funny.
Who wants to go next? Who hasn't gone?
I've got some goo. Ricky Nixon.
Oh, here we go.
Calling out Sam McClure as the trade whisperer.
I thought it was Tony Sheehan.
No, it's more and more likely it's McClure. And the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So Ricky Nixon or my friend.
Sentences never uttered before in human history.
Let's just put it this way. Ricky Nixon's no friend of the Flogcast. Or Bay 13 in general, I should say.
In this respect, he gets a thumbs up from me.
Who hasn't gone yet?
Hey, I got tears. I got tears for the rigged load of horse shit that is the Collingwood board.
Which board?
The Collingwood, just all colours board.
Big footy, not the Eddie board?
No. Footy board. Denying me my right to attend the Copeland Trophy and steal the goal-kicking trophy. Today they drew the winners, and not surprisingly, I wasn't one of them.
And you think that's rigged?
Rigged.
Take it to the Flat Earth board, Morgs.
Good old I didn't win.
You reckon this is because of your performance last year?
I thought I was best on ground last year, to be honest.
You were the only one at the Copeland who showed a bit of pride in the club?
Correct. I was the only one who fucking did the heavy lifting, that's for sure. I was the only one who turned up ready to perform, and did I perform? So I'm disappointed. Hopefully one of the people that did win doesn't respond and I magically win it again.
You've been denied natural justice.
I am.
Should we set up a GoFundMe for your ticket?
Yeah, set up a GoFundMe to
Morgs.
send me to the Copeland. Come on, go fund Morgs to the Copeland.
Morgs to Copeland.
If we do this, we need to come up with a checklist of items that need to be.
I think Penal will be an
completed.
unaccountable cunt.
Yeah,
Has to
you beat me to the
non-negotiable.
grill. We want certain things accomplished at the night. So yeah, but if that's
I think
that's doable-
I did deliver last year, friends. I delivered.
yeah, but there's no good going back and doing the same shit. You got to top it. You got to go a step further. So
That's
what do you
fine.
suggest? What could you do?
I'll do what you want me to do.
Get on stage and moon the audience.
Tell Bucks he's emotionally unintelligent.
Yes, I'd like it.
That would be gold.
That would be lolsy, but at the same time, fuck Heretier.
Like, I watched the doco and I was a bit disappointed it wasn't full of the lols. Like, it actually went a long way to sort of explain where he was coming from, and I
Well,
felt,
you humanised
felt a
him.
bit of empathy.
Yuck.
It did.
Oh, it might have done all of those things, blah blah blah. But John Ralph tonight on SEN was saying this is must watch. He goes, but he was obviously on Harry's side, but he's like, but is Harry? Is he looking for the limelight? Yes.
Of course he
Is he
fucking is.
unlikable? Yes. I went through this checklist of reasons why no one gives a fuck that he was racially vilified because no one likes him.
That's almost like I'm not saying that what Ralph is saying is racist, but you know how someone will preface it's not racist, but he's sort of going, yeah, I agree with Harry, but is he a flog?
Yeah, that's what it was. It was I agree with Harry, but no one likes him.
But he's a
Like,
fuckwit.
It doesn't justify racism, but he's a fuckwit.
Anyway, who hasn't gone with your tears? Dan, did you go?
Oh, no, I think it's me. I have tears with North did not acquire Dustin Martin as a free agent, which is very disappointing.
Starburns
If you're
was
offering 1.5 million out to a player and he says no, then it begs the question. I mean, how much do you have to offer to get someone to your club? And to add to that, we've got tears for the North Board. Well, not for the North Board, but for individuals who keep hyping up about their inside information and their sources and it's happening. Don't worry, don't panic. It's been going on not just this year, but it's been going on for quite a few years. And it's the same individuals that keep saying the same shit. And
I
they
don't
keep
think it's a North-only affliction.
No, I
Yeah, I do recall the infamous be patient on the Essendon board during the drug saga. Well, we were patient, we got rewarded.
I get that, but I can only speak on the North board because I don't go to other team boards. And you peanuts, and you know who you are. I won't name who you are, but you guys need to shut the fuck up now. All right, no more sources, no more bullshit information, no more it's happening, it's going to happen. You don't know anything, right? You're in the same boat as everybody else. Unless you're getting your information from the player itself, then you don't know shit. And stop popping up the hopes of other people on the board. Whoever's coughing, shut up, I'm speaking. Don't die on me, Starburns.
Are you sick, Starburns?
I actually am this week.
He's always...
Fucking, mate, this is about the sixth time, and I haven't been on for a year, and you were sick fucking last time I was on.
No. He hasn't been all year. I've been here in a month, and he's still coughing on everybody.
Oh, it only took 2 teach episodes for him to comment on your sickness that's never real. He just has hay fever, mate.
Although my tears are probably now for Starburns, who may not make it till the end of the podcast. You're going to give everyone your bird flu too.
Bird flu. Hello, 2003.
Yeah, so that's my tears. Just you people on the North board just need to shut the fuck up and just let it happen. If players don't come, they don't come. If they do, they do. You don't know anything.
Yeah, but Dan, if they don't shut up, if they realise how sad and unnecessary and unimportant their lives are, who knows where that's going to end?
Jail.
Well, what do you think people? Yeah, why do you think people sort of do that sort of thing? Do you think they're trying to gain credibility as a poster rule.
People like to know things.
Yeah, recognition,
course.
a little bit of self-importance, a little bit of hope.
Well, in that case, those retards need to go to the conspiracies board and go to the flat Earth thread because that's where you belong. I do not want to read any more of your inside information or your sources or your happenings. Just shut the fuck up.
Well, frankly, they've probably got the same rate as most of the journalists in this country.
No more. No, well, the journos, that's their job. They're getting paid to tell bullshit. These peanuts on a forum are not getting paid anything.
Well, we don't expect bullshit from the journos. We expect credibility from them too. They're actually paid to not talk bullshit, really.
You're full of shit, yeah.
We're not paid. We can talk as much bullshit as we want.
Gary Ablett to Hawthorn for Luke Hodge.
Wicked.
I'd love that just for the backpedaling from all the Hawths.
And by the way, we're not going to get Josh Kelly too. That's not a source thing. It's a gut feeling. And I've had a look at next year's free agents, and it's not good. I think the best one out there is probably Rory Sloane, and he's not going anywhere.
Tom Lynch.
I'm seeing on Twitter that the AFL could offer Tom Lynch a huge incentive to re-sign at the Suns.
What does the ambassadorial money mean? Does it mean like free rides at the theme parks or something?
It probably means you just got to go. You got to go have a chat with Kim Yong and tell him, listen, mate, stop letting those crackers off. That'll be good.
Ambassadorial money.
Didn't we already say we were going to send Rockcliffe to North Korea earlier this year?
Why would you do that? What's Rockcliffe got that Tom Lynch hasn't?
Well,
I think I was alluding to just getting rid of him.
Oh, yeah.
Just put him in a rocket and fire him off.
Jeez, you're not a fan of the Cliff, are you?
No, I'm not. I've seen his name mentioned on the North Board a few times, and it's...
No, you're getting Motlop, mate.
Well, I was going to say, if it's between him, Motlop, or Ablett, I'm taking Rockcliffe every day of the week.
No.
No, he's going to St Kilda.
Fuck off.
I love how you just flip-flop on this from week to week.
St Kilda can have the super coach superstar that is Tom Rockcliffe.
No. The new player coming to St Kilda is Stringer.
Well, he was coming to North only a week ago.
It would be very St Kilda-esque.
Another idiot with an inside source.
I don't know. I don't know what to believe anymore.
You don't believe any of it. It's all bullshit. No one knows nothing.
Smoke and shadows behind the mirrors.
Everyone is Jon Snow on the North Board. They know nothing.
I don't get that reference.
Right,
if we miss out on Kelly, I do not want Stephen Motlop.
Get ready.
Oh.
Where did this Motlop thing come from?
I don't know. It came out this morning on the radio.
He wants a lot of money, and you have money to pay someone.
That's the wrong person to be giving money.
You won't be paying him $1.5 million. Don't worry, but you'll probably pay him 500,000 of it.
I don't want to give him a donut. We're not paying him anything.
Well, who else is there available for this 1.5 million?
I don't know.
We save it next year. We throw stupid money at someone else.
But you still need to reach 95% of the salary cap.
If we sign Stephen Motlop, I will melt so badly.
If we get anything other than an expired bus ticket and a bag of rancid potatoes from Motlop, I will be ecstatic.
He is a bag of rancid potatoes.
Well, he's a free agent.
So if you get the expired bus ticket, you get a better deal.
He's a free agent, so you'll probably get compensation.
Possibly a first-round pick for Motlop.
No, it won't be a first-rounder.
It'll probably be a third rounder or whatever the minimum is.
Like, unless North pay something stupid for him, which is...
And if they do that, I honestly...
What are you, Rod Butters?
Mate.
A first rounder. Coulson.
This is depressing. I don't want Motlop or Rockcliffe at North. Not even for free. No. I don't think I could take it.
But you give you a bit of outside run, you sort of need that.
Did you say outside run to describe Tom Rockcliffe?
No, that was Stephen Motlop.
No, he'll just eat all the birds.
No, Rockcliffe's just more of the same for you.
He's Pritis. That's what he is.
Oh, disrespectful.
He's a stat merchant. He's Pritis.
Disrespectful to Pritis.
He's a super coach player.
He's not even a fucking stat merchant. He doesn't touch the ball.
Penal's here.
Penal heard you dissing Pritis, and here he is.
I've arrived just in time to defend his virtue.
That's 6 people.
He's not a prostitute. He's a footballer.
Same difference.
Well, Penal, whilst we're here, do you have any goo or tears this week?
I've got tears for injustice in all its forms.
Here we go.
It's just been a week of massive injustices because first you had the bullshit Essendon, Brave, so brave, wank, wank, wank. Each narrative had to continue by giving them a fighting star, which they still he wasn't as good, but they did deserve pick one anyway because they cheated. So it's just injustice heaped upon injustice heaped upon injustice. And I thought, this is an all-time low. It can't get any worse. And then last night on Survivor just turned the injustice meter up to 12 because they said that they kept this barrel racing Zwicker cheating cow Ara instead of AK, and that was just he got screwed by 2 twists. Like, how unlucky do you have to be? That's North Melbourne against Hawthorn levels of unlucky to get screwed twice by stupid twists.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Survivor.
There's no justice left in this world.
I used to think that you're an intelligent man, Penal. When did you get a brainectomy?
Brainectomy.
Wrong all along.
Lobotomy.
Well, lobotomy just cuts the nerve. The brainectomy, you take the whole fucking thing out.
Cool.
Thank you, Dr. T.
You're welcome.
Do we have anything else on the Dusty signature or any of the other free agent signings in the wind?
I think what happened was Ralph Carr happened.
Yeah, he played the whole situation.
I wouldn't have been surprised if this was like, if North were never really seriously into it, and Ralph's just done this to get his price bumped up from 800 to whatever it got up to.
I think this was very, very serious. Like, as in...
Oh, no, I think from North's point of view, I think they were very hard at it. Like
1.5 million reasons to be serious.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not saying that North weren't serious, but I think that this was Carr's... Yeah, I think he orchestrated the whole thing. I don't think he really...
They usually do. They'll sit down and go, all right, where do you really want to play? And, how much do you want? And so, okay, so this is how we'll play it. We'll bring another player in and we'll be courted by them and we'll field their offer and we'll say we haven't made a decision, and then eventually we'll get what we want out of who we want.
Exactly, yeah. Because I can see Richmond losing what is most likely going to be the Brownlow medalist the off-season straight after. I couldn't see a club like that letting that happen.
There would have to have been a lot more money and like
$2
an
million
obscene
a
amount
year.
of money. Like,
Yeah.
basically, it'd have to be something that you just couldn't give to a player. It would have to be like Scully to GWS sort of money at the time. Especially when it sounds like Dusty's only contact or only real contact with North was he met a few players and Brad Scott. But it doesn't sound like Dusty actually said anything. It sounds like Ralph Carr led him on and Dusty just spoke to him. Like, he probably didn't say a thing. Carr just played both sides.
I think North were dealing in good faith in as much as they thought that they were a shot at getting him. But I would be surprised if Carr even had the intention of him going to North, or if Dustin even wanted to go.
He probably knew that Dusty didn't want to leave, but he still sold it as something that could be done. And that's what I mean by Dusty never saying anything to anyone about staying or going. Dusty didn't say anything, Carr just spoke for him. And then in the end, he basically got to that point, goes, this is what's on the table, are you staying? And Dusty said, yeah.
And the trip to New Zealand, I think, from what I understood, was always going to happen regardless of whether he signed a contract or not.
Yeah, like he had a bye week.
Yeah, he had the opportunity to be an old man, and they're very close. I mean, how fucking bad was Steve-O?
He's always been bad.
Let's give him some credit. At least he wasn't reporting on the Dogs for once.
Dusty should have, swapped planes and flew to Christchurch and left, Steve-O and all them in Auckland.
Okay, the question I've got there is, what the fuck does Steve-O do once he gets off the plane? Does he jump in a car and follow Dusty to his old man's house and sit out the front in the car with a coffee like a cop on a stakeout?
I think he more or less did that.
He goes bungee jumping, maybe visits where all the hobbits are. Maybe he fucks a sheep.
Yeah, does Steve-O just have a holiday in New Zealand and then just catch the same flight back and watch Dusty on the plane for any signs of body language or some shit?
Okay, so say so Dusty obviously saw him there, and Steve-O's essentially accosted him as soon as he gets off the plane. Do you really think, oh, yep, Steve-O, mate, yep, I'm staying at the Tigers. Well, what's he going to say? Oh, yeah, no comment.
I would like to think that Steve-O just followed Dusty for a free holiday.
Oh, no, well, yeah, he's milked it out of his...
He didn't do any reporting. He's just like, yep, I'm going to follow Dusty in New Zealand. He's like, fuck you, Dusty, I'm going holiday.
On Channel 7's dollar.
What else do we have on Dusty?
It was utterly delightful to see, well, that North utter wanker, groin guru, backpedal like a motherfucker. I mean, he's probably the worst poster on Big Footy, and that's saying something.
Oh, he's not the worst poster on Big Footy. Give him a break.
You're right, there's trade draft.
I was going to say, everyone in the Flat Earth thread.
Oh, fuck. Imagine trade draft at Copeland. I would pay to see that. Get him drunk. Let's see what could occur.
Perhaps we should crowdfund that he goes with Morgs.
Oh, yeah, Copeland date. There you go. I wasn't going to send a cent to this GoFundMe, but now I will.
If we raise enough money, I'll take trade draft as my date.
No, you won't.
She won't welch. Anything else on the Dusty signature?
Do you know how to spell his name?
Is that like, on Blues Brothers where he signs it with a cross?
He would sign it with a crayon and he would put a backwards R in Martin.
Yeah, he doesn't actually have to sign his name. He just uses a thumbs up, thumbs down, like on
Facebook.
I like Dustin Martin likes this or doesn't like this. That's how he signs a contract.
Grrr.
There's a guy that won the Morris Medal also has foregone his senior year at high school to concentrate on footy, much like Dustin Martin did.
I think
He'll have tats on his neck before you know it.
Dustin Martin forgot. He skipped the senior year of primary school and all of high school.
Dusty doesn't have his pen license. He had to write it in pencil.
Well, in grade 3, he had tats on his neck with crayon.
Are you really going to tell that guy that he doesn't have a pen license?
He probably thinks it's a real thing you get, like a laminated card, instead of just like teacher permission.
I mean, I didn't get my pen license.
See what happens when you don't sign for North?
I think I got mine by default when I got to grade 5.
Yeah, same with me.
Did they have pens when you were at school, Teach?
No, we had feather quill and ink.
So you got past the stone tablets.
We had big cuffs and we had fancy hats with feathers in them, and we said, "Excuse me, teacher, ho, what there'st write us on this board?"
Did you have to learn a particularly special style of cursive, Teach?
Yeah, sort of like that. That very bold block with all the extra sort of like Gothic script.
Yeah, I know the one you mean.
Yeah.
Ye olde.
Ye olde.
Whereas Dusty learnt to write in Comic Sans. I think we'll move on from the Dusty re-signing if we've got nothing else there. And we'll talk about a signing of a different type. And we'll go to what I'm beginning to think is a bit of a crisis at Collingwood at the moment. They're not having a very good couple of weeks here. And Chris Mayne in particular.
I've just got to say, you can say anything you want about Chris Mayne, but you don't come out publicly and say it was a mix-up. Come on. Make it a bit harder for us. At least have some decorum.
They've got him for 3 more years and they have to pay him in the cap for all of them anyway, and they're not going to find a trade.
They're going to have to do something about it, so why lie? Why not take responsibility?
Well, do they have a solution yet? Surely you make that comment once he's out the door and you go, it was a bit of a mix-up. You don't say it before. It's like you've lost your bargaining position if you even had one.
You need to have a bit of emotional intelligence in situations like this.
No, I think this is just intelligence.
I'm just grateful that he's not at North, because they tried to go after him and they failed.
Yeah, isn't it good to fail sometimes?
Yeah, sometimes.
To be honest, I just want you to be quiet about that, Dan, because it has a real possibility of happening and I don't want it.
No.
Maine, Rockcliffe, go North.
They're more likely to get Vickery.
What did I tell you about people with inside information and sources and shit? Unless you're getting it from Chris Mayne himself, you know nothing, Jon Snow.
What about his dad on Twitter?
I'm just saying.
Besides, everyone knows they're going after Vickery instead. He'll be the latest in a
dumping
long
more
line
of your
of
trash
prize
on them.
recruits from Hawthorn
Vickery,
to North.
Motlop, and Maine. I cannot think of a worst window.
No, you know what? You know who they're getting? They've got a lot of money in the cap, and they're pretty good at getting sad as fuck players dumped on them. I reckon Tom Boyd to North.
Come on.
I prefer that than any of the other options mooted.
It was bad. It was bad enough we were going after Chris Mayne when he was at Fremantle, but after now,
I don't buy that. It's a bit of a mess, though. This whole thing, like, are we clear on who actually made the deal? Because there's conflicting stories. Chris Mayne's dad says Buckley's involved. Everyone at Collingwood wants to blame Cubby Allen for the. It's just like he's not there. Let's point the finger at him.
you just got to cut your losses and run. You got to rip it off like it's a band-aid. Just got to do it.
But Morgs, are you not concerned about this on the back of the extension? It seems like the decision-making processes at Collingwood are sort of just
fucked.
Hodgepodge.
That'd be the sort of thing you'd throw out there if you're Buckley. That'd be the sort of thing you throw out there if you're trying to save your job and are trying to save face and somehow get people on side.
Yet he's already got the extension.
Oh, I didn't really want Maine, guys. Please cut me some slack. But yeah, the timing's just odd.
But if they end up hiring James Hird, are they going to call that a mix-up too?
Is that real? They're going after Hurdy.
I don't think.
I don't think they'll do it. I think it's one of those bullshit Sam McClure rumours.
Is he still doing the Norm Smith at the grand final?
Yes.
Yep.
Are you
The AFL are mad.
Are you preparing your lungs for the booing? Have
Well,
you got like a strict regiment of
Can you not
training?
tell I've been overexerting in the last week? Need to strip back the training regime.
Been a heavy training program last week.
Yeah, need to taper off before the grand final. This is my pre-season. I'm really, need to rest up a bit, I think. Anything more on Collingwood and Chris Mayne and his dad white knighting him and...
As soon
We
as your
knew-
dad has to white knight you, you're fucked.
Yeah, this is Trent Cotchin getting backed up by his missus sort of territory.
Well, can anyone say they're surprised by the year he's had? I mean, he's just an average
No,
footballer.
this is
Well,
what
considering-
everyone expected, I think, except for seemingly whoever hired him at Collingwood.
Oh no, because maybe they did expect it. It was just a mix-up, guys.
Well, so what sort of mix-up are we talking here?
They thought they were signing Chris Mayne Waring, not Chris Mayne.
That's even worse, signing a dead guy.
Not really.
Probably could kick straighter.
Bit more livelier.
He's got a better reputation.
Or defensive pressure.
There's another thing another re-signing I was going to mention, but I completely forgot it. Oh no, I think it was Gary Ablett and his best and fairest. Yes.
Oh yeah.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but fuck me, if you're gonna increase his trade value, make it a bit less obvious.
I'm pretty sure this is what Hawthorn did with Sam Mitchell last year. Didn't work for them though.
Reigning best and fairest, worth pick 88 apparently.
So I think that's the going rate for Ablett, pick 88. And he wasn't even playing for a good club. Hawthorn made finals. Gold Coast finished bottom 4. Looks like you're going to get him for not much, Teach.
Oh, well, I mean, all this talk about, he's one of the best and fairest, it's impossible now. That's just all fucking smokescreen. He's probably going to come.
Smoke and shadows behind the mirrors.
Looks like it. And I don't think it'd make a difference one way or the other. I just don't want him to give up too much or pay him too much money.
Fair enough. I love the idea that you're going to pay a player to play at the Suns. I'm wondering who the player is and how Geelong are even going to afford that. That
has
sounds
to be
weird.
Motlop, surely.
Yeah,
Like,
Motlop and pay him in Hungry Jack's vouchers.
Also, another funny thing is this: Jared Waite is still one of the last players left from the 2001 draft. That's just always as funny.
He's like a cockroach. You can't kill him.
He'll come good one day.
AFL
Jesus,
Masters.
Carl's wasted.
maybe next year his 17th season will finally be the one where he lives up to his potential.
Actually, we did mention the Gold Coast to Gary Ablett before. How about Luke Hodge potentially going to the Gold Coast? What is it with all these Hawthorn players who just cannot finish their career at Hawthorn?
Oh, fuck off. This has Sam McClure special written all over it.
Yep.
Oh,
Even
this
if
is
he couldn't confirm it.
Topic.
What if he's attention whoring though? Like if he comes back, that's attention whoring on a grand scale. Considering he went out with Bob on that Friday night farewell, chaired off, and if cheapens it,
They were
like,
given that game because Bob wasn't retiring at that point.
Mm.
They got that game on the Friday night under false pretense. It
Yes.
should have been the spoon off.
I reckon he'll be at the Gold Coast, but probably had some sort of bullshit consultant role.
He's got a lot
That
of...
being
Wait, consultant.
that being said, I would pay money because I reckon Hodge is going to be a gun coach down the line. I just sense feel it.
He has a reasonable football brain, doesn't he?
And he's a fucking good bloke too.
He is the best of blokes.
Back to the old values, tinnies after training.
can you imagine him trying to discipline a player who strays though? It's just like, if you're going to get shit-faced, don't get in trouble. Just get in your car and drive home.
He would be the man who is finally capable of sorting out Gold Coast toxic culture once and for all. Like, they tried to send a straight shooter up there, Rodney Eade, a guy who doesn't take no crap. Didn't work. I reckon Hodge is just the man for the job.
They're just going to turn him into West Coast.
I kind of think that they might go the other way. They might turn Hodge into, a fat, useless drug addict.
Boy.
The other way around.
What do you mean turn into?
Oh, sorry.
Turn into a fat, useless drug addict since they're going to turn him
Does
into
anyone
Gary
reckon?
Senior.
Do you have anything else on any of this? Ablett, Hodge, any re-signings?
I think it's a perfect time for Gill to test out his revoking accreditations for the media for fake news.
It's
Everything that comes out of Sam McClure's ugly excuse for a mouth.
I'm going to say it's concerning that Vlogcast favourite Dylan Robertson has still not re-signed.
Where's he going? North?
No, there has been a rumour to Hawthorn.
Let's move on real quick. Anything out of the two games on the weekend? Did anyone watch either of them?
Watched
Skip
a
the
little bit of
Legends.
that Legends game. Tell you what, to begin with, it looked like, this is going to be interesting because there's a few guys who've really been on the pies. Who were
There's
out.
always a few. Derek, kick it.
They were fucked after 5 minutes and got dragged and never played again. So that was disappointing because then you had a bunch of recent retiree football players who've all kept themselves pretty fit, keeping away from each other so they didn't need a shower after the game. And it was like, well, this is a bit fucking boring, isn't it?
It's more rigged than the Collingwood Players sponsorship raffle anyway, mate.
Paul Hazelby had been on the pies big time.
Yeah.
And,
It's
Scotty
boring.
Cummings has been off the pies. I reckon he's lost about 70 kilos.
Lower than his playing weight these days.
It's boring. They don't try, and
It's
the ones that
scripted
do
and it's
try
silly.
get.
Ackerman.
Why don't you get players who legitimately hate each other, and
The showdown one.
you get like fights and shit? That'd be great. People who
That
really
would be
just
good. I'd like to see that.
that'd be so much more entertaining.
Get Luke Hodge in there. He'll be bumping people into posts in no time.
Like you get one of the Wakeland brothers and Lynch planting on each other, all right? And they can finish the fight that they tried to do 10 years ago when neither of them landed a single punch.
The only funny thing about the game was when stupid fucking kid in New Park sent me a message saying Ben Reed's been on the pies when it was fucking Ben Johnson. Fucking lovely.
Why would Ben Reid be playing in the Legends game?
That's what he said to me, and I was like, context? And he's like, in the Legends game. I'm like, he's still fucking playing, you moron. Like, it's not him. And then he's like, yes, it is. I'm like, no, it's fucking not. And then, 10 minutes later, he's like, it's Ben Johnson. I get them confused. Like, you're a knob.
Anything on the women's game?
Did anyone watch any of it?
No.
Old Fivehead won the best on ground, I think, but that was
Her name is Sevenhead.
Sevenhead.
Oh, yeah, she can fuck off as well. I don't like her either. She white-knighted
What does that mean
McClure.
that she get an upgrade?
The moment I found out that Mona Hope made the team, I decided not to watch it out of protest.
Rome wasn't built in a day, but I reckon the State of Origin will improve a bit further on. And it's nice to see State of Origin.
It is.
Oh, thanks, lethality.
I'm sorry, but I want to support the big fucking V against those stupid twats from West
Right.
Horsham. Those wankers out west who I feel sorry for poor Victorian souls living there. We want to have
know,
the
right?
big V.
You could even feel sorry for the West Australians living there too.
You're all seceding anyway, I think I read this week.
I think it would have been a much better standard of football if we'd had AFLX on this week instead.
AFLX with all the Legends games players that were trying too hard.
I don't want to point out the obvious, but it's time.
Let's go to the last of the talking points, and it is one of our favourite segments over the last few years, and it's Teachers' Grades. Teach gives us a grade for each club as we go. So we're going to begin with the 10 teams whose seasons ended last week. So any grade, letter grade, I think, though generally a letter grade, but sometimes Teach improvises. But Teach, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, so we're going to begin with Fremantle.
Fremantle, Jesus, what? Why do they even bother turning up? These guys, they play half a game of football. they still, try that crab-like Ross Lyon way of playing without the players capable of doing it. They've been fucked ever since Pavlich left. They're going to have to get...
Last year?
Yeah. Well, he kind of left in spirit well before, but he's going to have to get an E-, I'm afraid. Not quite an F. No, they did manage to win 8 times. They had a couple of sneaky victories in there. Didn't they beat your mob, Starburns?
They did.
At the G during the year. So that's a bit of a standout. Other than that, they were just a speed hump in everybody else's season.
0.1 off having the worst percentage in the AFL, which is 1/5 of the margin that Melbourne missed the 8 on, just quietly. Next up, Collingwood.
Collingwood.
Can we go back to the bit where Melbourne missed the 8?
We'll get Chill your jets, girl. We'll get there. Collingwood, one thing that Morgs did say last week through the sea of garbage you normally speak, what you did say is that Collingwood never got belted during the year. They didn't get belted. They always gave an honest effort, and if you didn't turn up, well, they'd roll you. So, as just pointedly mentioned, they ended Melbourne's season. It stopped them from making the finals, which was it's just good enough reason for Collingwood to get an E+. Not quite good enough to get a passing grade, but E+ it is.
So you idiot.
Well, you were never going to get higher than that because you re-signed that fucking clown with the broken nose. So
Thank you.
anyway, that's enough about them. I'm sick of talking about
Sounds
them.
fair to me. Sounds fair to me.
We'll just go on from that to Melbourne now.
Oh, God. Talk about the greatest teasers of the season. At times, they looked like they could play. But in the end, you knew that they couldn't. And so they failed. I'm going to have to I'll give them a D for the season, which is a bit shit.
D for the D.
You've got to think that they will improve, but, they've just got to stop believing their own press and hype, really.
Brisbane Lions.
Oh, God. Didn't they actually won more games this year than they did last year? I mean, what's going on with that? I mean, they were so fucking pathetic.
They won 5 games. That's pretty good for a wooden spooner.
No, it's not. It's shit. F. And, I mean, they're just a bunch of clowns, really. They did manage to roll Essendon at Etihad, which you've got to say is pretty funny. But at the end of the day, they were just 4 points waiting there to be picked up from everyone else. F.
Gold cunts.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Fucking tangerine turds. What a fucking failed experiment they are, really. No one barracks for them. No one goes to watch them, and they look shit. They had Scabbledy leaving. North's getting Tom Lynch apparently now. And, what did they do? They did beat Geelong when they had a bit roll of form and the Cats were playing a bit shit. But, fuck off. F-. Can't get rid of them fast enough.
North, premiership favourites prior to this year for Teach, even though he wasn't here to say it. But I imagine you would have picked him.
Well, even though I wasn't
He was
here,
on the wagon.
I wasn't on your band. I was not on the North Melbourne bandwagon this year,
bullshit.
unlike previous years. Nah, you've just burnt me too often, North. You've just been, I don't know. I give up. And just leave. Just leave. You're the annoying drunk guy at the party that thought you got funny, but you're not. So just go home.
Where? To Tasmania?
Yes.
Where should they leave to?
Oh, I don't know. Sandful? No one pays attention to the Sandful.
No vote for Tassie? Gold Coast?
Teach is rapidly losing his West Horsham fan base. Watch the match all over this episode.
North to Tassie, it really fits, doesn't it?
No,
Well,
it
I've already
doesn't.
dipped a toe in the water over there.
Fuck off.
It's so much so we can actually call you an interstate side now.
Whatever. Fuck off.
So was it F-, I heard?
No, E for North.
Oh,
A little bit of sympathy left for him, so I'll give him an E.
Nearly as good a season as Collingwood. Carlton.
Carlton,
Now, they're a club that could fuck off.
last week I think I called Carlton players matchsticks with the wood scraped off. They look skinnier than Biafrans have been on a forced march. They can't string half a decent passage of play together. Cruiser played all right, I think, in a couple of games I saw. No one else did. They all talk about the new Silvani as the second coming. He's too fucking pretty, and he doesn't run fast
You
enough.
got 2-year contract.
Oh, well, what else are they going to do there, really? And
Morgs, any comment on that?
Oh, today I was listening to SEN when I drove home, and this guy rings in and he goes, I want to know how the voting works in the Rising Star and how come Jack Silvani didn't make the top 3. I can fucking tell you why, and it's got nothing to do with the voting system, mate. Nothing to do with the fact he's fucking crap. He's like, I think this is a disgrace, and I think that we should look at the system so this does not happen again.
Was it Guido Hatzis?
Yeah, you're channeling Guido Hatchis there.
It's like Carlton had 5 Rising Stars. Can you tell me why Jack Silvani did not even get a vote?
Oh, shit, that's good.
Goodbye, my friend.
Wasn't the rumour that Brendan Bolton is on his last official warning as Carlton coach and is
What's
about
the word
to be
about?
sacked
I love that
because
rumour.
he keeps blowing up at the fucking football department staff, and I reckon that's got to do with Silvani's contract. Like, Bolton just probably went fucking, you did what? And saw Silvani's
It was a mix-up, it was a
and
mix-up.
that turned him from lovely little
Yeah, I
lovable
was gonna
guy
say.
that he is into a fucking devil incarnate just because he was so livid at seeing.
I do. Like, no one is as nice as he appears to be. Like,
Oh,
there is
yeah.
no one on the earth that is that nice.
Yeah, he's got a few barrels in his back garden.
The thing I would most love to see happen on this earth is Brendan Bolton go on the next season of Australian Survivor. Just
Oh,
because
not fucking
he-
Survivor
he,
again.
he would be the best mastermind villain in the show's history.
My favourite part about this Brendan Bolton rumour that's going around, and since we're discussing it, is that the logical conclusion everyone seems to be coming to is that Brendan Bolton's just bringing this bit of Hawthorn professionalism to Carlton, and Carlton can't hack it. They can't. Home truths are a big no-no down there, and that sounds quite plausible. They're stuck in the Carlton bubble that someone else comes in and tells them this is bullshit. And it's like this, and they're like, "We're Carlton, fuck the rest." And they're like, "Well, you won't win any flags if being like this."
That thread, though, was a bit all over the shop because one thing he's saying, it's the last chance, but then he goes on later to say something along the lines of, it won't be a termination or something like that. Well, what the heck is a last chance?
I think he's just another source, Le Grille.
Yep.
But it would be lolsy if this one was true. So lolsy.
And he was just an absolute fucking hard ass, and like players were leaving because they just couldn't hack it.
I can't handle being in a professional environment.
Let's face it, regardless if it's true or not, it's a good story.
And Mud's always going to stick down at Carlton because I cannot remember the last time they were relevant. They're just fucking cellar dwellers forever now. So F for Carlton. Yeah. F for fucked. F for Carlton.
St Kilda.
Oh my god, the system is not working.
Equalisation.
I don't understand how we can have 5 nominees and Jack Silvani did not get a vote.
F for
Who are these?
5 nominees.
Can you tell me who the 11 people are? Because they do not know football.
Well, they don't, do they, Morgs? Someone voted Tom Phillips.
Yeah, fucking Andrew Dillon, Chief Legal Counsel for the AFL. Are you serious?
Name and shame. This is who voted for who.
Well, clearly all 11 are fucking retarded because no one gave Burton 5, so that just shows how the...
Yeah, that's pretty fucking piss poor.
It's the one thing I'll agree with Carlton supporters on this year.
I was going to say, I didn't see a lot of Essendon games, and I thought Andrew McGrath was okay, but was he that good?
Burton was robbed.
He racked up decent numbers playing as an unaccountable halfback flanker in a finals team, whereas Burton locked down a key position in a team that finished 12th.
Yeah, and was a big contributor to the
Yes.
side, I thought.
Probably went to almost Hawthorn's best key defender.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, I'm glad it wasn't just me, but...
And you can tell that Burton was robbed when we're actually saying he was robbed instead of taking the piss out of Penal.
McGrath doesn't strike me as someone with X Factor. More AFL X Factor.
I mean, it gives me Goddard vibes just quietly.
Hopefully
So,
less of a
so
cunt,
we're going
but-
to talk. So we're going to talk about St Kilda.
Yes, St Kilda. Give Cookie your worst.
Well, didn't they tease us? They gave us a fair tease. They were looking good for a while there, weren't they, Cookie? I sort of thought that they might play final. But they did manage to trip over their own bootlaces when it really counted. So, yeah, look, I did hope that St Kilda were going to do something. I really did hope that St Kilda were going to do something. They look exciting when they play well, but they just don't do enough of it. But I think that they're building. I'm going to be nice to St Kilda. I'm going to give them a C. I was impressed with them, and I think that we're going to see them break through the barrier next year. I think they will play finals next year. So a bit of hope there for the Saints for another second place finish sometime in the next 10 years. Sorry to disappoint you there, Cookie, but C's a good rating.
I just want one flag. I'm not being greedy. Just one.
Mate, there's too many good sides sharing them around, okay? You just can't have one.
That's the thing about flags. Like, they're fucking like cocaine. And that you just, once you get your first taste of a flag, you can't stop. So, yeah, it was one, and then it was 2, 3, 4 very quickly. And then all of a sudden, like, you know, it just...
Withdrawal's not going so well.
Withdrawal symptoms. Yeah, withdrawal symptoms.
I'm contentful.
I forgot what it feels like not to win.
I just want one before I die. Admittedly, that'll be 50 years from now, but still.
Oh, no. Valet
What's
Cookie.
73, that's
Given your track record of predictions on this show, Cookie.
Nick
Prepare
Minute.
for disappointment.
And the Premiership defence of the Bathwater Dogs. Teach, what do you got?
What a pack of fucking frauds. I fucking have turned on this mob like you wouldn't believe. I'm disgusted with their Premiership defence. I wouldn't spit on them, this fucking mob. They've gone from being a bit of a soft spot side for me to being despised. And I'm going to give them a flat out F for their fucking woeful flag defence. They're shit, they're hopeless, and they can fuck off. Would they jump up and pinch the flag? They didn't deserve it. Those bloody 90-year-old supporters with their oxygen masks, crying tears last year at the Whitten Oval, they should have died without one. Fucking woeful, that team.
Hey, that'll be Cookie in 50-odd years.
Yeah, well, no, I'm... for a while I thought, oh, come on, they're better than this. They're going to be able to challenge again. And I watched them play a couple of times. I thought, you fucking frauds, you stole a flag. So fuck off, back to the also-rans, and stop bothering the good teams.
See you in 62 years.
What even?
Well, I wish I'd left that one till last, but hopefully last lives up to it. And finally, Hawthorn.
No, that was delicious. Who cares about the rest?
No, there's only one to go, and it's Hawthorn.
No, you fucking
it's two.
Mouth, young man.
We are not leaving this mob alone. And as Penal just alluded to, how they got addicted to success and like a drug, now they writhe on the bed of withdrawal, sweating, scratching their arms, trying to get the track marks out, digging for worms, as they bleed over the fact that they won't win another one soon. And isn't it just delightful? Oh, I am.
No, it's
relishing
actually
it.
the worst thing ever.
I'm loving it. That Easter
awesome.
Monday game, that was just fucking legendary. That was back to the good old days of. Actually, it never happened before. It wasn't the good old days when we belted the living
Good old days of
cakes
winning
out.
home and away games against some Teach.
What about the fucking good old days when Geelong beat Hawthorn when it mattered? Oh, wait, never happened.
Shut up, skinny britches. This is my review. They, mind you, to be fair, they did uncover some pretty good youth. They looked like they could have the beginnings of the side, but they are going to be nowhere for a while, which I'm very, very happy to see. So in the spirit of...
Who did they uncover? They didn't uncover a rising star. Winner.
Okay, then they're fucked. In the spirit of good-natured rivalry, I'll give Hawthorn a D.
Oh,
It's too generous.
yeah, I think you've squibbed that a little bit.
Okay, E.
No, you can't just change. You can't just change your grade because we called you on it.
I can do the fuck what I like. These are my grades.
Once again, highly successful. I look forward to the rest. Question time. Boss wants to know, if we assume watching a bunch of geriatric old codgers or fat lesbians pretend to be footballers is the meatloaf of options to fill the pre-finals bye weekend, what would be Lionel Richie?
Is this a leading question?
No, it's not. I was about to say, at least he hasn't led us anywhere with this one, but I don't really have an answer.
What would Lionel Richie be is the finals by being eliminated,
Yes,
and instead we get round 23, then we get finals immediately, as it should be.
Yeah, so that way a final would have been played on a really nice Friday night instead of when it's going to be 9 fucking degrees and hailing and raining and blah.
Yeah, fucking cheat weather, just like Geelong.
Cheap, cold weather. I'm going to die outside in the rain, thanks.
Gornage wants to know who's more overpaid, Chris Mayne or the Australian cricket team.
The Melbourne football team.
Nah, the Australian cricket team.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's nice to have you back, Max, after your week off of crying.
The Australian cricket team are all getting paid more than Tom Boyd, and you know they're getting paid more than North's room in the salary cap, and they're doing even less.
And,
With it.
And Chris Mayne is training more.
I bet you they weren't sending pictures to the Bangladeshis like, you ready? Like selfies with fucking 2 of them.
Who would be the Australians to do that?
Oh, fucking spastic Warner.
Yeah, I was thinking it would be Warner and Maxwell, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But no, the Bangladeshis, there's no real big, they're all wiry little guys, aren't they? I feel like Warner's going to hit those guys.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
Joe Root.
Joe Root's pretty feminine looking dude though. Or he looks like a
he's
kid.
a
More
child.
like
He looks like a 10-year-old.
Warner just bullying even in the bar the same way he does on the pitch.
Warner should bash Virat Kohli next. That's what he should do.
Ilksy
And then
wants-
You know what? I reckon I'd back Coley in that fight.
Oh, fuck off. Just like...
God,
I
Kohli's
agree,
a
and
bitch.
so does Extreme.
Extreme
Because
can
Coley
fuck
just
off.
does what? Coley just does what a lot of the Aussie guys have done over a long period of time.
Nah, he overcompensates.
Well, yeah. He goes for rich
I-
as well, so yeah.
I heard he
No, he's not
bench
one.
presses like 450 pounds.
Ilksy wants to know, would you give up $2 million to still not win a flag?
Yes.
What?
Hang on, wasn't there a double negative in there somewhere?
To not win a flag. So he's
No.
obviously saying that signing Chris Mayne over that period of time costs them $2 million and they're not going to win a flag from it.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
That's the inference
I
I'm
thought that
getting.
was pretty clear, guys.
No, it's clearly about Chris Mayne. You're a bit mixed up on that, Morgs. I think you're a bit mixed up.
I'm not mixed up. You guys were mixed up. Oh, you only just got it.
But no, it's definitely Chris Mayne, isn't it, guys?
It is clearly about Chris Mayne. Who else could it be about?
Hmm.
No one else
Well, I
is
just
getting
thought
paid.
I just thought
No one
those
else
guys
is getting
should know it.
overpaid by that much.
Not Cookie wants to know, given Hawthorn is thinking of trading Vickery, is a 3/4 eaten pack of twisties too much to pay for any club?
For that Muppet it is.
Only if they're disgusting chicken twisties.
No, because
Do
the
they
thing
still
is,
sell
there's trading it and trading it for peanuts. But then if they don't trade, that means Hawthorn have to keep him on the list.
You could trade him for Chris Mayne. Solve both teams' problems.
Nah, I'm just gonna abuse the fuck out of him on social media until he becomes sad as fuck, and then he'll get traded to North, and then it's all good, except for the Grille, I guess.
Jeez.
And then
I think you guys have stumbled across the scenario where I would prefer Stephen Motlop.
Well, I'm liking where this is going then.
I'll take the half-eaten packet of chicken twisties, and I don't even like twisties.
I think Bosk actually got in first with the best answer to that question, basically being that you have to pay a fee when you dump your rubbish.
Maybe that's the Dingley training ground is like just an elaborate ruse. Like we're gonna say, oh yeah, guys, everyone come along to training. We're at this new home base of Dingley, and then we're gonna rock up there, and then everyone else is gonna know to turn around, but Vickery's just he's gonna be stranded at Dingley.
Mm.
This is a 12-month elaborate ruse to just get rid of him by stranding him on the fucking rubbish tip where he belongs.
Just that Motlop got mentioned now, I have a question of my own. I want to know, and this isn't 21 here, I want to know why Red Vesty, why didn't you ask about Motlop coming to Richmond this week? Why'd that stop, Vesty? Where's your Motlop to Richmond question?
You sound very emotionally checked in, Starburns.
Oh, I've just been sitting. I've been sitting on this one all year. I've been waiting for this, and I'm just wondering why
You sound
Vesty.
pretty optimistic, and you sound checked in.
I'm just wondering why Vesty hasn't asked that particular question. I thought he was coming. Maybe he's going nowhere, Vesty. Maybe he's stuck with Fat Boy because you're going to demand a trade. The other question I have is actually something that came to mind recently, and this is for everybody. Now, they've announced that Malthouse and Boomer Harvey will have roles. Malthouse hands out the McHale medal to the coach on grand final, premiership winning coach, who I guess will just give it to whichever injured player that club has. And Boomer Harvey's
The winning coach will be Damien Hardwick, and they've got no injured players.
well, he'll clearly give it to I don't know Van Marich or someone.
You'll give it to Prestia.
Press will probably be playing, and Boomer Harvey, of course, is escorting the cup, which is pretty dangerous because he's just as likely to run off with it.
Prestia will probably be playing.
Hang on. When you say escort, is he handing out the cup to the winner, or
No,
is
no,
he just
he
giving
isn't.
it?
He isn't.
Bringing
No,
the
he
to the
just-
highest in the middle.
Yeah,
At the start of the thing, when it comes off the helicopter or plane or
Yeah.
whatever,
Oh, that's a
convoluted
nothing
way.
roll. Why do you even bother having that? Well, who's handing out the cup then?
well, it's usually on grand
That's
final day.
decided.
It's someone from.
Yeah.
It's a legend from each club. So the question I want to ask is, if GWS make the grand final, who presents the cup?
Kevin Sheedy.
Santanta.
Tom Scully's fat man, old man.
No, bring back the tant.
Israel Folau.
Yes.
Why are you even talking about it? Because it's not going to happen.
I could make the grand final.
Oh, you mad because it's not going to be you. Shut up, Teach.
Like, who else
Well,
is
it's certainly not going to be you guys.
Well, it more certainly wouldn't be you if we were around.
Anybody else from the Giants who you reckon could be presenting the cup?
Andrew Demetriou.
Yeah, just Gillen just cut out the middleman, just give it straight to them.
The local owner of the kebab store.
The falafel truck.
I reckon it should
Mark
be...
McVeigh.
That
Should-
guy who kicked the ball into tyre stack and earned 100 grand.
What about Sheikh Halali, or whatever his name is, the terrorist
Shake-
fermenter?
Shake your booty.
Oh.
It should be Buddy Franklin, to be honest, because like by going to Sydney instead, Buddy did more for GWS than anyone could.
Pretty good note to move on from. This week on the Bay, thread of the week, what we got?
The mental images of your favourite Bay posters.
I thought the disloyal man meme got legs
We
this week.
gave
It was-
that last week. Didn't that win last week?
We got a nomination.
Got a nom? Okay,
From-
we could give that thread of the week if we wanted. I liked Chappie's If Only one as well as Disloyal Man.
I liked
was-
the Dustin Martin thread on the drafts and trading board.
Oh my god.
It was just amusing when Dusty was signed. SFA versus the Bay was also good.
I really liked Hodgepodge's thread, which was AFL is nice, but if you're bored because there's no AFL on, you're a loser. Because he kind of has a point.
He has no point, and he needs to be...
Go find something else to do with your life
Yeah, like fuck your
on a
therapist.
weekend.
Come what may, did a thread, the Bay 13, was it stuck in the AFL waiting room? That was a bit of
just
fun.
another plug of music spam thread.
Oh, well, Plugger tried to take it there, but luckily he got fucking overpowered by everyone else.
All right, so what are we giving it to?
Give it to the... what did you say,
Mental
LaGrill?
images?
Actually, post here how much your anus will burn when the Eagles win the flags. That was quite funny as well.
Yeah, that was all right. That was a couple of weeks old, though.
I'm happy to give it to Mental Images.
Yeah, same.
Yep, go with that.
Flog of the week.
No. What was my thread?
What was
Oh,
yours?
Rising Star Pass. I demand a recount.
That was good. Yeah.
That was pretty lousy. Flog of the week.
Subaru.
What's she done this time?
Stinking up my thread.
Oh,
Dump
yes.
it. Like, it was a thread. It was a joke, firstly. It had nothing to do with Adelaide. It had nothing to do with Port Adelaide. And she just had to take it there. It took, like, the second post was from Avatar. The third post was from her. Ruined my thread. Fucking drainers, go away.
Well, they didn't ruin it. The thread survived, but they did their best.
Yeah, well, not by lack of trying, fuckheads.
Can I go for everyone associated with the Geelong Hawthorn shit fight? I mean, there's no footy
Yeah.
on this week. Can you cunts stop? But
It's
even
really
24
tiresome.
hours, just be normal human beings and just shit post about everything. Oh, man,
If that gets under your skin, in 6 months you will commit suicide because it just won't fucking stop. I'm telling you.
No, but it's annoying, and I haven't even been on the Bay for that long.
No, I just delete. I'm just like, delete. Send to the House of Cox. I don't care.
That's why I want to nominate Bosca Cut Above for the flog of the week because he just puts so much fucking gas into those arguments. You know,
Well-
get run over by a bus, please.
You know,
It's heavy.
I also want to nominate. Let's go for the North Melbourne board.
I was thinking of going the Dan route and nominating everyone who had inside info in the last week and a half.
No, I'm just
Go for
gonna
it.
go for Groin Guru, who's somehow so utterly moronic. This guy,
He's all right.
he pretends
Just
to
give
be
him
a
a go.
character. I've given him a go. He's a fucking retarded ass shitfuck.
Oh, Jesus.
That's what? Mm.
He's just a crap poster.
He's all right. He's harmless.
I want him to step on a piece of Lego every night he has to wake up to take a piss.
Now, that's harsh.
Harsh, but fair.
Pretty cruel, but I don't really know much about this vlog. All I know is that Cookie really likes him and the Grille wants to white knight him.
I think he's a
I just think
fuckwit.
he's all right. He's okay. Like,
He's your mate. He's one of the Grille's
We're seeing a bit of Northboard coming out in the Grill here. It's the first time it's
Yeah,
happened.
you did the same thing when I went after K4E. You say, no, he's a good bloke. He's a good guy.
He annoys me as much as lethality, and that's saying a lot.
This is like how I spent fucking 2 years white knighting Shep against teachers' insults.
I find it really hard to hate someone who, whereas, you know, I mean, there's not many people on Big Footy I hate.
Why are you on this podcast then?
Because I hate people in the AFL.
Haven't you seen how this segment work? People settle their scores here.
Yeah,
God, I don't know
all
if you
right.
ever listened, but the person who got 9 right 1 week won.
Yeah, if
Just because
Morgs
I'm
got 9
vindictive.
right, it would have been cause for Morgs was right, goo goo goo.
Correct.
So, speaking
There's
of
one set of
scores,
rules for Morgs and one set of rules for Brennan.
speaking of scores to settle, I think I've got a scores to settle here, and I need to nominate fucking certified legendary cunt from the Geelong Hawthorn shitfights Chefmeister, because apparently he made a pretty bad mental illness troll this week. I didn't see it, but the reference was made there about deleted posts, and so I don't know. But the main thing I got beef with him for is the fact that he continually defends domestic violence promoters like Floyd Mayweather and Jimmy Bartell.
Yeah, I don't like Floyd Mayweather, so that's a good one.
Yeah,
Oh,
Floyd
I would say-
Mayweather beat the mother of his kids to within an inch of her life, and this guy feels the need to defend his virtue. Like, that's disgusting behaviour, and if you ask me. And I missed this thread when it came out, but Hodgepodge actually raised a very valid point about Bartell's role in domestic violence.
Oh,
Because
no,
he's doing
fucking
the-
don't you get on the hodgepodge bandwagon.
He's-
That is the
he's
biggest
doing-
load of bullshit
Bartell
going
is-
around.
Bartell is sponsored by pokey companies, and pokey companies do more to promote domestic violence than anyone.
Yeah, nice one, Carl.
You know
That bow is so long.
what? You've bitten off more than you can chew. There will be PMs about you going around everywhere tomorrow. I can't wait. I'll you stupid fucking moron.
You know what? I'm going to have a late flog of the week, but I'm going to go for everyone who actually thought Conor McGregor had a chance against Mayweather. You stupid
I don't-
fucks.
I know
Boxing
nothing
and
about boxing.
MMA are two different sports. Shut up, you stupid fanboys.
I know nothing about boxing, but I just know I don't like people who beat women.
But you don't
That-
need to know anything about boxing to know that a boxer would be better at boxing than somebody else.
Oh,
who's
that's
not a
right. That's right. I mean, I kind of hoped that McGregor would win, but I didn't think that
Bit
he
of
ever
hope
would.
against hope.
I blame
but
Dan.
that boxing thread was pretty gold. Just the fucking, and the arguments are still going there. There's a fucking still arguing about shit.
Did anyone come across anyone marking their cards this week, Morgs? Or...
Oh no, I haven't got him one up on my card.
You know what? Can we just nominate everyone for Flog of the Week apart from the people on this vlogcast? Just fuck the world. 7 billion fuckers.
Nah, I'm happy
no,
to just give it a Subaru.
Yeah, Subaru wench.
Yeah, she just needs to turn up to earn it, really.
And finally, we move on to the previews, which we'll begin with Adelaide Giants. Cookie got a coin.
I'll check my wallet. Yes, I have a coin.
Okay, because we're not doing tips. I don't know if you know this, Teach, but we just flip
We're not
a
doing
coin.
tips, for a fact.
We just flip a coin these days, and that does the tips for everyone.
No, I think that because Teach is back, I think Teach should tip for everyone.
No, we'll flip a coin. Fuck Teach.
Yeah, fuck you,
Teach, I have no say over this. They just decided to flip a coin one day, and we've been doing it.
It was your idea.
But
It wasn't my idea at all. What are you talking about?
But I want Teachers tips because everyone knows Teachers Monday tips are where it's at.
Come on.
Well, flipping a coin's probably about as accurate as you're going to get anyway.
Oh, I was just taking the piss. We can all tip these. There's only 4 games, but I was just going to see if Teach melted for us. So what do we got? I reckon Giants will pinch this one.
In Adelaide?
Yes.
No fucking way. Adelaide by plenty.
I think Giants will win this game.
It's not hard to beat Adelaide in Adelaide. Like, you have to be pretty shit to lose to them over there.
Yeah, all right, smart ass. No, Adelaide by heaps.
Adelaide for me.
GWS.
It's going to be close, but I'm going to go for Adelaide, but just.
And what's the coin give us?
All right, the coin is going for...
What current coin?
It's an Australian $1 coin from 1988 with a kangaroo.
That's boring.
I'm sorry, but...
Does
Shut up.
Usually
the kangaroo at least have wings?
It's got boxing gloves.
It looks
Can't
like
remember
it's
the
surrounded
kangaroo.
by a Canadian maple leaf.
Or other kangaroos.
I don't know.
I thought if you were going to defer to going to coin tosses, you would have done something sinister like and built it up like the coin toss in No Country for Old Men. Now that would have been something with a bit of theatre behind it.
Call it.
What? Somebody on this gets killed?
Yeah.
The coin has gone for Adelaide.
Teach. You say
What?
that about the coin and that being somebody gets killed. If the Crows lose this and the Power win, we'll have a showdown. And I bet you the loser does get killed
Ooh,
after that
wouldn't we
game.
just? Yeah,
in true
there
South
would be
Australian
death.
tradition, you lose, you end up in a barrel.
Yeah,
It'll
pretty much.
could be a murder of crows again.
Oh,
Richmond Geelong.
Oh, I'm going to go Richmond. Richmond by 1 point.
I'm going to go with the Cats, and in advance, congratulate Richmond on making it to the second week of the finals.
I actually reckon Richmond will win this by 10 goals. Like, they are the real
Whoa.
deal. I look at their list. There's not many holes in their list. Most other teams have holes everywhere on their fucking best 22.
List.
Richmond look pretty complete. I reckon Richmond and Sydney are the most complete teams. So that's who's going to play in the grand final if the draw allows it. Richmond will smash the shit out of the overrated pretender, carried by 2 players, criminal Geelong Scats franchise.
No bias there at all.
Mark Williams reckons put your house on Richmond.
Yeah. Is he still helping Dusty pay his phone bill?
Oh, I don't know. They were in contact recently, apparently.
Wasn't that a thing? He used to help
Yeah, no,
Dusty
he did.
pay
He
his
used
phone
to
bill.
help Dusty pay all his
Did?
bills, I think. He used to live with Dusty used to live with him and stuff and go around there once a week.
Fucking,
And,
how hard is it to set up a direct debit?
Well, you Dustin Martin, quite
Well,
hard.
you Dustin Martin. I mean, it's yeah.
Oh, good times.
all right, who hasn't tipped?
Me, Richmond.
I think that just leaves Teach.
what about you, Starburns?
I already tipped.
Who'd you tip?
If you're not listening, that's your own problem.
He didn't tip at all.
Nah.
All right.
You
Well,
can't pull that one over old Teach.
despite the,
I thought he'd be rusty.
Despite the vitriol from the peanut gallery of teams not playing this week, who've got nothing better to do than rip off unsuspecting Chinese people from Shengdao province with their fucking dodgy baby formula.
It's not
Hey, I
dodgy.
picked
It's
Geelong.
the best one on the market.
I expect... Hey, shut up, Pinhead. Here you go. I expect Geelong to have a bit of an off week and not play as well as they can, and hence will only win by 48 points. Go Cats!
Okay, coin.
No, now I actually do my tip.
Oh, you bullshit artist. I knew you were lying.
You know what? Call me emotionally checked in. We are going to win this.
Oh,
We are.
oh.
You
We are-
just jinxed your own team.
I've
Cochin is only going to
cookied
touch it 3 times. Dusty's not going to see the ball at all.
You've done a cookie.
I'm
done a
emotionally
cookie.
checked in. We are going to win this by about 4 goals.
Oh no.
In-
Nah, 100% right. Geelong, it's not at their cheat ground.
Shut up,
No
baby
cheat
formula.
ground, no
You've had
Geelong.
your go.
Right.
I want to
Sick-
know how optimistic are you?
Joel
How
Selwood is
confident,
going to win.
Simon?
He's going to win the toss. He's going to make you kick into the wind.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. Bad
Yeah,
weather.
that's if he fucking gets to the ground in the first place, and they'll be without one half of their two-man team.
I'm still only a 60 on the meter, Morgs. I really can't do much
Right.
better than that.
We'll see what Coin says.
Deep down, I'm about as cynical as Dan, really. But, well, not quite, but not far off either.
Because he knows that the finals is a different ball game altogether.
I'm still emotionally
And
checked in. I'm saying we're winning.
Neither team is going to. This will be close, very, very close, and it's going to come down to the last 5 minutes on who does what right.
Oh, fuck.
Coin has
Usually
said
how it goes.
Yeah, that's
Coin
usually how
is-
we lose.
Coin is going for Geelong.
Um,
Coin is eco.
Now,
Coin knows more than baby formula.
The coin must think this is at their cheat ground, so the coin is wrong.
Colas versus Essendon.
Oh, Cole, Sydney by fucking 10 goals.
Yeah,
This is
Colas
going to be a
comfortably.
massacre.
Buddy to outscore Essendon, I think.
This will be really funny to watch, actually. Really good, funny joke. And Sydney by a million.
You know, all the goo about making finals, oh, we made finals, Essendon was so brave. When you're one and done, you haven't made finals. You're just a fucking joke.
Didn't Essendon lose their last finals appearance by about 15 goals to Carlton? Or the
Something like
Essendon
that.
or Adelaide
No,
or someone?
they lost the North one.
Which was
Oh.
hilarious because Pichu did Frank the
The time before
Yeah,
that,
sure.
they lost to someone the time before that by like a massive
I-
fucking margin.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think,
I reckon they're
I
going to
think
do
their
it
last
again.
three before the North game were like
Yeah.
averaging 10 goal losses or something.
Yeah, and I reckon they're going to be back to that.
And it is going to be good to just fucking see the end of the how brave are our boys story. It's going to be good to see that come
But
to
Joe
an
will
end.
get cheered off, but no one will be there to pay tribute.
They
Hopefully
seriously
Job gets
go,
hopefully
"Fuck
Job
themselves."
gets booed, but unfortunately the Sydney supporters don't know who he is, most likely. I'd be like, number 4, who's he? I think he's Tim Watson's son. Doesn't he play for St Kilda? Oh yeah. Fucking morons, a lot of them. And unfortunately though, I think we're going to see if Sydney win, which they will, we're going to see the fucking how brave a Sydney story start to
God.
take off again.
I've got to see Katie.
They've come back from 0-6. They've beaten the odds. No one's ever done this before.
This really is the game that you just don't want to see a winner.
Don't watch it.
This is the game you want to have like a draw, a replay rule.
Never-ending
enforced.
time on.
Just keep playing this game over and over and over until fucking both teams just fucking lose somehow.
I actually kind of want Essendon to win because I can't stand Sydney. The Sydney, buddy, Cola Academy assisted club, and I
No,
don't want
Dan,
any
your
success.
memory's too short, mate. You got to remember the times when Essendon were good and what fucking
Yeah,
pains in the
and-
ass.
And the other thing on that is, like, and I would rather play Essendon second week because Essendon hold the least fears for me of all teams in the 8. But certainly the wank fest over that, if they win a final, you
It's
will ruin
unbearable.
Lamented as soon as
So
it
who do they
happens.
play if they win?
Put it this way, like Sydney winning versus Essendon winning, I'd rather read fucking a million Andrew Wu articles than have to read one fucking gloaty post from an Essendon supporter.
How many Aaron Rileys?
But she doesn't write about football, just Heretier stuff.
She just talk about how all the fucking Essendon supporters are racist, and
Racist
sexist for
for-
some reason.
Racist for booing Lance Franklin.
Anyway, everyone picked Sydney, didn't they, in the end?
Yeah. Coin
Yep.
tips. Coin tips. Coin is going for Essendon.
And final game, Puffers versus Eagles in the battle of the flat trackers, downhill skiers, whatever you want to call them. Just West Coast playing away, but Port playing a top 8 team. You guys
I'm
figure
going to
it
go
out.
West Coast. They don't do too badly over there.
Yeah, their record at Adelaide Oval is crazy, like better than fucking Adelaide's record at Etihad. So I actually am going to go for West Coast just because I would like the fucking Sam Mitchell and Matt Priddis train and Drew Petrie as well to just keep rolling on another week.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
All the way to
See how
grand
far they
final
can
day
go.
when Sam Mitchell wins
I-
the
I
Norm
would-
Smith. Gets it presented by James Hurd.
I would love to see Sam Mitchell lift up the Premiership Cup one more time. I would love to see
Needs
that.
to win the Norm.
So
He's not the captain, is he?
no, but they all get to hold the cup
Oh,
aloft,
yeah,
once
yeah.
they all get fucking...
Oh, in the lap of honour.
The one thing
They all
I'll be
get to
sure
tune
of
in it,
is,
don't worry.
no, the one thing I'll be sure of is Sam Mitchell definitely won't get the Jock McHale medal around his neck because only fucking selfish idiot players do that and steal the Jock McHale medal off the coach.
Well, you can't say that. That's very insensitive.
It'll be Nick Nat Nui.
Well, apparently, the big talk here that Willie Rioli will make his debut.
In a final?
Yeah.
Who was the last player to
ballsy.
debut in a final?
I think it was some Dogs player in like 2010.
Oh, Andrew Hooper.
Oh, that superstar.
It was a little midget too, I think.
Anyway, I think this will be the closest game of all the finals, and I think Port will just win by a kick.
I reckon West Coast, the Kennedy factor, he's back, and I don't think he was there last time, and I think that'll probably prove the difference. West Coast, they're a bit softer around the midfield, but hopefully proven superstars like Priddis and Mitchell drag them over the line.
Say they win.
They will lift
Say
the
they
finals.
win.
I'm going to go West Coast, but just...
Do they play Natanui next week?
Oh.
Can he walk?
No, they're just going to wheel him out there, even though he can't do anything. They don't want to turn him into Bob Murphy, so they're going to actually pick him.
No, well, apparently he's pretty
Well,
much...
generally, if you kick a football into a tree, it'll bounce off, so you'll have some use.
I'd do it.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I'd roll. Yeah, I'd roll the dice on Nick Nat. He'd be fucking 70% fit. Nick Nat's better than 100% fit Vardy.
He would automatically become, like, if they get past Port, he would probably become clearly the most dangerous ruckman remaining in the final.
Yeah, and not
But
sure.
like you were
I'd
saying
advise
last
that,
week.
I wouldn't be playing that Willie Rioli though, just because small forwards struggle in finals, and so
Yeah.
you wouldn't even fucking gun small forwards struggle in finals. You wouldn't want to be picking a guy to play his first game.
Yeah, no, I think it's a bit of a risk.
Coin says... Puffers.
I don't think Morgs tipped yet. Yeah, she,
The house has been invaded by Daleks. Or maybe Jed Hughes popped up in her lounge room.
Or Trey Drafts knocking on the window. What do I wear at the Copeland? What time do I pick you up?
Anyway, this was the vlogcast for the first week of finals. Starburns joined by Grille,
See you later, guys.
Dan,
Yeah, see you later.
Cookie,
Goodbye.
Teach,
Good night all, and go Cats!
and Penal.
If Geelong was a dog, you'd shoot it. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry, I forgot to log into my Smith to Vickery account.
Oh, is that the team or the club?
The city.
Team,
Ah,
the
sorry,
club,
the-
the town, everything.
The city, yeah, the city or the club.
The supporters, the people, everything.
Just do it to the town and you take care of everything else.
Yeah, I suppose.
I'm copying you with
Morgs
your
disappeared in that
customs
last few minutes there. So thanks for listening and we'll see you next week.